And then I'll just go ahead and start, and
Okay.
then I'll pass it over to you at the end.
Okay. Perfect.
Um, so tonight I'm just going to talk about challenge groups. And I wanted to talk pretty much all things challenge groups. So why host them, what's the importance of them, how to run them, and then how often to run them, and things like that. So, because I believe it's part of our bread and butter of our business and how we grow. And if we aren't helping people get results, we aren't doing anything. So, I think that they're super important. And I know when I was a newer coach, I had been in tons of challenge groups, but I didn't necessarily know how to run one. So I wanted to just make sure everyone knows the basics to it and where to find resources for it, because I think there's a lot of resources that everyone may not know about that will make your life a lot easier. So I'll just go ahead and jump in and explain why we host them and why they're so important. And really, it kind of goes hand in hand with our relationship Zoom from last month, and how it's a really great platform for you to build a relationship with your customers who have trusted you with their money. It gives support to them. It creates great accountability, and it creates friendships and even relationships within challengers, which has been really cool to see when you have, women who don't even know each other, and then everyone's cheering each other on. And that honestly is why I became a coach, because I had been in challenge groups and it helped me believe in myself, and I didn't know anybody in the groups. And it was just so cool daily having people pour into me, telling me that I can do something. And obviously we always feel better after workout, but we always don't have the motivation. And seeing other women being motivated or pushing through when they don't have the time and they make the time or things like that, it's just really, really cool. I think they're a really special thing that makes our company very different. And in the groups, I mean, people gain confidence in themselves, and it's a great place for growth. And it's a home for them. It's a safe place for them to post pictures. In our day and age, everyone takes selfies. I mean, it's just a fun atmosphere to help people get to their goals. And when you have someone counting on you, whether it's them knowing we as a coach are going to check in on them, or it's us as coaches knowing our challengers are counting on us to show up every day, it's a great relationship just to help everyone become better daily. So ultimately, that's like the main reason, but there are other really great reasons why. It shows us great potential coaches that we wouldn't have known had they not been in a challenge group, because some people aren't ready to jump into coaching right away. So when you're in a challenge group and you see someone rocking it and they're commenting on everybody's post, they're posting all the time in them, it's like that is going to be a baller coach, because that's what we do as coaches. We encourage people, we support people, and if you can build them up in a safe setting like that and help build them up, they will eventually get that confidence to reach out via their social media. And so I'm going to move on into how to run a challenge group successfully. First and foremost, you need to set a date. I know it kind of sounds silly and very mundane, but it's very important to stick to the dates that you choose. And I think that, sometimes we get fearful if we don't have a ton of people in a group and we want to push it back. But honestly, all you need is at least 2 to 3 people, and that's a challenge group in itself. And it's, great practice for you to get comfortable leading and posting every day and things like that, and just grow yourself as well. So definitely set the date. And remember that everyone starts somewhere. My first challenge group, I think I had 5 people in it. It wasn't very big, and then just kind of gradually grew, and they turned into be awesome. So you need to advertise for them for sure. there's a rule of thumb that someone needs to see something 3 times before they decide they're going to actually commit or like it or pay attention to it. So it's really important to set the date, one, so you know when you're going to have a challenge group, but also so you can backtrack and know when to start advertising for it. So for me, I typically start advertising a week and a half to 2 weeks out. So for example, I have a challenge group starting April 25th. So my next call to action challenge group post is going to be tomorrow. So that's about a week and a half. I mean, today technically should have been a week and a half, but I'm going to do it tomorrow. So, and then from then, I'm going to breadcrumb, meaning like little bitty posts about how awesome my challenge group is going right now, maybe some recipes, you know, people finding time, showing people's results, showing my results, whatever it may be, using those breadcrumbs. And then once after my post tomorrow, 2 more times, I will post a call to action for April 25th. They won't be the same post, but they'll be very similar so people know it's for the same group. So if you think of a theme for a group, just keep that consistent in your posts whenever you are continuing to do that. While you are advertising, message people, and this is where the invite vital behavior is huge, because not everyone is going to reach out to you if you post something. I reach out to everybody who likes my call to action post. And I'll even reach out to people that have maybe said no the month prior or whatever it may be. So that's super important. I don't get all of my challengers because they've commented on my post saying, yeah, I want to join. I mean, that probably is like 5% of my challengers. It's very, very minimal of actually who I get from commenting on my posts. So don't be discouraged. People don't comment or like them. There's a lot of back work you've got to do because people trust you, and sometimes they're just timid to admit that they need help, and maybe they need you to show them that this really is a solution for them. So when you're organizing your group to run them, you have to think of a couple things. Who are you going to run it with? So who's going to also lead the group? You need to find a template that you want to use. I'll get to that in a second. You know, you want to set up a photo. You'll want to set up your group, and you want to make sure it's organized Friday or Saturday before so that it's not Sunday and everyone's scrambling. You want to give everybody the weekend before a little bit of time to be able to go and grocery shop. I'll be the first to admit I'm not great at always making it on Fridays, but I try to at least do them Saturdays so that people have Sunday to shop. So I do want to touch on leading groups together. So this is where the success partner comes in play. I think that sometimes it gets confusing with the success partner or other coaches, leading with other coaches. It doesn't have to be as complicated, I think, as some of us make it. So if you're leading a group with someone, that could be a success partner of yours because you're talking together, trying to figure out ways to make the group better. I would say you really only want 2 to 3 coaches leading one group at a time because you want your challengers to see you lead. It's great leading with other coaches, and it's fun when we have our coach challenge groups, which we've done in the past. But when you are leading and you have customers in there, you really want them to see you because they're going to watch what post you do. They may not know, say I'm hosting it with Holly. They may not know Holly. They may think she's a challenger, or whatever it may be. So they're going to be watching me because they signed up with me. It's the same thing with all of y'all. Whoever they sign up with, they want you to coach them. So you need to be present and coach them. And so, I think, don't feel like when someone posts in our team page, I'm running a challenge group here, do you want to join? Don't always feel like you have to jump in on that opportunity. I love the enthusiasm that we get when someone's asking for someone to lead with them or if someone needs a challenge group. That is wonderful. but I think that sometimes it gets too saturated with coaches and not enough customers. And so, you know, I would say 3 max. I think 2 is best. And if it's that third one, that third coach should be, I would say, one of your coaches. So me and Kayla are running a group together, and one of her coaches, Kelsey, is in it. And it's kind of like we're mentoring her, and then she's going to leave on her own next month. So that's perfect. So it's not saying that y'all shouldn't, you know, be together or excluding anybody, but I really believe that people need to see you coach. So I think that that's a good rule of the numbers. Now, I mean, that's not, obviously there's going to be, exceptions and stuff, but I think that would be the best way to go about it. And if there's too many people, then separate, you know, there's 6 people, 3 and 3, or 3 groups of 2, whatever it may be. So that is about organization. So the templates, I don't know if everyone knows this, but there are templates in our file section of posts for challenge groups, which literally gives you a post per day of what to say. And I have like 3 more that I'm going to post in there tomorrow. One I'm using this month for Bikini Boot Camp. One was last month for March Madness. So you can kind of change it up, but it's typically the same things. And that is a ton of work that you don't have to do. And so make sure you know where to go and look. And if you don't know, ask me, and I'll show you where those are at in our team page. So when you're running them, after you've set the date, after you've advertised and messaged, you've got all your challengers and you've got who you're running it with, you're organized, you're ready to start posting, execute it. So show up every single day. It's super easy the first week to be excited and everyone's posting in the group, all your challengers are super involved, and then come, you know, day 15 or something and they kind of start falling off. You don't fall off. You are still posting every day. That even if people aren't posting, they're still watching. And I promise you, I ask a lot of feedback from my customers, and they still say, even if they've never liked anything in the group, they say that it still helps them. So do it for your accountability, but also for these girls that maybe they're having a bad day and they don't feel comfortable yet posting about it. It's okay. Just be there for them. Be engaged with your customers, comment on their post, ask questions, post recipes, privately message them weekly. That's something I do. I message all of my customers weekly to see how it's going because not all of them post in the group. So that's important. You know, keep that relationship strong so that if they have a question, they will reach out to you. Again, just show up daily. Some fun things that I do and that I've learned have really helped build momentum and excitement in the group is shout outs and recognition. So if you have a challenger who's just rocking it, showing up every day and posting, make a little cute Rana flyer and post about them and just say, wow, you've been doing awesome. Like it really makes a difference. Everyone loves to be recognized. And that'll also encourage the other customers to kind of pick up their game too because they want to be the one recognized. And so that is always really helpful, and that's been a big success for us on our challenge groups. Another one is prizes with the point system. That's helped. This challenge group, we did a prize each week, and that's been really cool. And it's making them, you know, push, and we're going to do 1 grand prize. So it's like if you won one of the weeks, you can still win the grand prize. So it's still kind of encouraging everybody to be involved. Make announcements for what's going on. So glimpse into coaching groups, your next challenge group, talk about it. Talk about Shakeology in these groups. Talk about the importance of drinking it daily, and talk about water and the containers. Make sure everyone understands how to use the containers. You'd be surprised how many people don't understand, but they're too afraid to ask. So just act like no one knows and just post about it. Even if no one's asking, I guarantee it'll help. what I always do, especially week 1, if I'm ever posting a meal, I'll always say what colors they are. Like, I'm always like, okay, this is, my eggs are red. I always, no matter what, I just say what colors they are, and that's been helpful. So moving on, how often should you run a challenge group? I think this is going to be a personal preference. I definitely think every 21 days, or at least once a month. So that sometimes every 21 days would be 2 a month. And if that's too much, it's okay. Push it back to once a month. But you always want to be able to have a group to talk about. So say that you had one start yesterday or Monday, and you really want to give your customers enough time to order and get it in for day 1. So right now it'd be a little too late to join this last group if it started on Monday. So you always would be like, well, my next one's starting the 25th. You have plenty of time, things like that. And so that's another reason why that organization is so key, because you can talk about futuristically. And for me, I use that for my invite. So instead of having to cold invite saying, hey, I have a challenge group, I'm always like, hey, I have a new group starting, and my theme is all about summertime. I'm going to the beach, so I really need the accountability. Would you want to do this with me? That's what I'm saying right now. So always just, even if it's like mine's 2 weeks away, I'm still going to be talking about it, because people don't, sometimes they say yes right away, but not always. I would say most times they don't. Most times they talk about it a couple times. They need to see your posts. They need to see some transformation pictures, and then they'll commit. So, start early. Let's see. In your groups, look for coaches. So, when you're talking about your glimpse into coaching, sometimes people are like, ooh, I don't really think I want to say I'm interested in that. So I always reach out personally to my customers and say, hey, just wanted to remind you of, we're having a glimpse into coaching group. I don't know if you'd be interested. I go that route, or I go the preferred customer route. If I know that they're enjoying their shakes a lot, I will offer them the discount. And that's been really helpful too. So for a lot of y'all pushing diamond, discount coaches are great. They're great for a number. So, and you never know when they're going to turn around and they get a transformation, and someone asks them what they're doing, and then all of a sudden now they want to be a working coach. That happens all the time. So always look for coaches. Most of my coaches, not all of them, Brittany is a huge exception. Most of all my coaches were challengers before. So, but that's okay. I have a ton of new coaches right now that didn't do this before, and they're rocking it. So it doesn't have to be that way, but I would just say it's a great pool to look for versus only looking for people that comment on your posts. So I just kind of want to leave the talk about everything with challenge groups is our whole purpose is to help people get results. So help them get results. Don't let people fall off the grid. Obviously we can only do so much. We can reach out our hand and they have to reach back. But I guarantee, they trusted you with their money. So it kind of gives you a legit excuse to constantly check if once a week at least, or every couple of days, to check in on them. That's okay. You're their coach. Yes, she may be their friend, but they reached out and they got this program for a reason, and help them remember that. So that's my biggest thing is I've learned when people actually get transformations from the 21 days, they're so much more excited about joining the next group or becoming a coach or, just confident, which is huge. And so help people get results. And this is a huge, huge platform, our biggest platform. This is how we coach. We're virtual coaches. So use the challenge groups. If you have any questions, by all means, reach out to me. I will post those templates tomorrow. And that's really all I have on that. Holly, if either one of y'all have anything to say, go ahead.
Just a quick question, sorry.
Yeah.
As far as your challengers, after each challenge, do you ask them if they want to join the next one, or do you just automatically add them in?
Good question. So I used to always create a new group, and I would ask people in my old one saying, whoever wants to join, comment, and then I would reach out to everyone individually. And that worked, but it was a lot of work on my end. Okay, we have 10 minutes, so I'll hurry. But what we've started to do is we use the same group. So what I did was, I guess it was 2 months ago, it was our February group. I posted in there and I said, we're going to try something new and we're just going to update this group. We're transitioning into our March theme, which is March Madness. We're going to be adding in some new people. We're excited. We have some new fun things for this new month. We hope all of you choose to join. If you don't wish to join, feel free to remove yourself. If not, we're looking forward to another new 21 days. And it works perfectly. And now
nice.
We did that for April too. And it's like, all I did was you have to go, I deleted all the posts from the month before. And that's kind of a lot of work. But you don't have to ask anybody. Like, it's just assumed. And I just created a new cover photo and boom, you're done. And then it's kind of cool because then with your new challengers, most of the veterans are already kind of they'll post the first day because they get it. And it's more exciting too for the new challengers to kind of jump in.
Got it. Okay, cool.
That's been helpful.
Good.
So whenever you're ready, Holly.
Okay. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So everything that I got from, obviously Super Sunday was packed full of information. So everything that I got from Brandi Botts, part of it, I've put on the team page. So the main thing that I'm going to go kind of quickly go through is her PowerPoint that I posted called Planning Your Day, Week, Month. Because I think that was kind of the highlight of it. And if you're about to run out of time, just tell me. So she kind of just really clearly lays out what we should be doing each day, each week, and each month. There's also some calendars in there. I personally was really confused by the calendar she posted, but if you can figure them out, you can use those. So some of the things that she does daily that I personally don't do, but that I want to talk about is it's kind of just a list. So on top of the 3 Hey Girl messages a day, she also sends 3 encouragement messages a day. Just like, hey, I saw your post. I saw what's going on with your family. Know that I'm here for you. So 3 encouragement posts on top of just 3 Hey Girls. And then another thing she does is on top of she invites 3 people every single day to a challenge group and invites 3 people every single day to coaching. That's a lot. I probably have only ever invited 3 ever to coaching. So, it was a really big eye-opener on how frequently we should be doing some of these. And then priorities was obviously adding 3 to 5 people and commenting on 3 posts a day. And then other than that, so one of her big things that I found interesting was she says, and she really honed in on this, was only posting 2 to 3 posts a day on social media. She said, honestly, anything more than 2 to 3 posts a day is kind of a waste of time, and that maybe 5 people, because, I've always stressed over trying to get to 4 or 5, and I just can't, I don't have the time for it. But the fact that she said, and with her business, it's never done much luck, and she's had more success with 2 to 3 good posts a day than pushing for 4 to 5 just to get 4 to 5 in. So I found that interesting. And then the other things were kind of she makes a list every single day of what she calls 3 must happens. So the top 3 things that she absolutely has to get done for her business that day. So that was kind of the main, and then besides, checking the back office, checking the team page, checking in with your challenge group, and then replying to comments, likes, and messages that we kind of normally do anyways. And then she has a separate, so that was business daily list. And then she has a separate personal daily list, which is kind of the standard. So on top of personal growth, which she really stresses, she actually says, she had a quote, which I thought was really cool. it says, grow your mind before you can grow your business. So I found that really important and just a neat little saying. She also has a time of gratitude. She sits down and writes down her top 3 things that she is grateful for every single day. She has a gratitude journal, and she said that alone made a world of difference in her attitude to start the day, to start those messages, and connecting with people.
Real fast.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy. I'll say this really fast. It's kind of crazy you said that because, so yesterday, I've gotten into a bad habit. Like as soon as I get out of bed, I will like check Facebook right away. And I always check notifications, and it's not even like team stuff. It's like what people have like commented or liked on my post. And like for some reason, Facebook, I mean like the algorithms. And so sometimes I don't get very many likes or whatever. And like, it just puts me in a really foul mood. Cause then you go to your news feed and you see like other, like her get like 300 likes. Yes. And then like today I told myself I'm not going to like answer any texts. I'm not going to get on Facebook or anything until my quiet time is done, until I get my workout in. And like it completely changed the day. Like, I mean, it was a much more productive day. It was a much more happy day, like for me. And I had to literally put my phone in a different room because I'm so tempted to be like, oh, like, and it gets so frustrating, like so frustrating. And so that's kind of crazy. That's a good idea to have a journal, a gratitude journal. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. So she had a whole separate journal that was just for her gratitude. And she took time to write down those things every single day, first thing in the morning. So that's kind of the daily stuff. And then moving on to the weekly, she has a Sunday night planning session, planning out kind of her week in general. Every week she obviously gets on the national wake-up call, or at least listens to the recording. What are some of the other big ones? So she zeroes out her messages. So I call myself a baby coach, so I don't have a ton of messages from people. But
is that weekly?
Yeah, weekly.
Okay, not daily.
No, yeah, not daily. She said you'll kill yourself if you try to do it daily. So she said by Sunday night to have everything cleaned out for the next week. And one thing that I found really interesting was progress photos every single week, whether it's small, large, some sort of progress photo of yourself every single week. And then her biggest one that she's currently trying to get all of her coaches to do is to make one video a week, whether you post it in a challenge group, some sort of team page, or your personal page. But making videos, she said, is she's had a lot of success with, and she wishes more people would do them.
Yeah.
And then obviously things like recognizing your coaches on Thursdays, scheduling your posts and your call to actions. This last one was really neat. So she searches and saves what she calls value content for her coaches. So whether it's finding YouTube videos, posting that link on the team page, or an article, health and fitness related, or something like that, she finds content for her coaches to at least one thing a week for them to go back to and read up on and kind of gain valuable information from. And then she actually goes in and removes any pending friend request every Sunday that didn't get accepted that week. So that's kind of weekly. And then monthly.
Okay, you have a minute. 20.
Okay.
We can start a new one too if you need to.
No, this one's quick. So SC5 mid-month, not end of month, but mid-month. 2 to 4 coaches a month. A challenge group every month. What else is a big one? She kind of just the normal. Oh, some sort of 3-day sneak peek into coaching.
Yeah.
So those were, and then she's super honed in on success partner. You absolutely need a success partner.
Great.
So,
so all that stuff is in.
Yeah, all of that is in the files that I posted.
Okay, cool. Okay, we're less than minutes on when it's going to cut me off. But no, that's really, really good. I love knowing like daily things. If you can tell me what to do, I'll do it, and that's helpful. And I think it's the power of 3. Like, I love that. And I like 2 to 3 posts per day because it's true. Like, sometimes it's almost too like, whoa, I was just trying to read your other posts. So,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Cool. Well, thank you for sharing that, Holly. I really
You're welcome. And then if y'all have any questions about any of